Try this right now. Close your eyes and think back to when you were 7 years old. Picture the house you lived in, your bedroom, what you ate for breakfast before school, the sound of your mom's voice calling your name in the morning. Now, how much of that can you actually see? For some of you, memories flood in like a home movie, vivid, warm, a little grainy but real. But for others, there's almost nothing, just fog. Maybe a smell here, a vague feeling there, but no actual story, no scenes, just blank. And if that's you, you've probably been told at some point, "How do you not remember that? We were all there." And you just kind of smile and shrug, feeling slightly broken, like everyone else got a childhood and you got an empty hard drive. But here's what's wild. You're not broken, you're not weird, and you are definitely not alone. What's actually happening inside your brain is one of the most fascinating puzzles in all of psychology, and it says a lot more about how you feel than how you think. Let's talk about it. First, let's kill a myth. Most people assume that memory works like a camera. You live something, your brain records it, and it just sits there in a mental filing cabinet waiting to be retrieved, clean, organized, accurate. But memory is nothing like a camera. Memory is more like a Wikipedia page. It gets edited every single time someone opens it. Every time you recall something, you're actually reconstructing it from scattered fragments, filling in the gaps with what makes sense now based on who you are today. That's not a flaw. That's just how human memory works. So when someone says they can't remember their childhood, it doesn't necessarily mean nothing happened. It means the brain made a choice, consciously or not, about what to keep, what to store, and what to quietly let dissolve. And the reason it makes that choice, that's where it gets deeply, beautifully human. There's a concept in psychology called childhood amnesia, or more formally, infantile amnesia. Research by psychologist Chi Wang at Cornell University found that most people's earliest reliable memories don't actually begin until around age 3 or 4. Before that, almost universal blankness. The brain's hippocampus, the part responsible for converting experiences into long-term memories, is still under construction. It's literally not ready yet. But here's where it gets interesting. Some people don't just lose the toddler years, they lose most of it. Age 6, 8, 12, entire eras gone. And that's a different story. Imagine your brain as a building manager. Each memory is a piece of furniture. When the building goes through something stressful, chaos, instability, emotional overwhelm, the manager doesn't carefully catalog every item. They throw things into storage rooms, lock the doors, and deal with the crisis first. Survival comes before archiving. And sometimes those storage rooms stay locked for years. This is what trauma researchers call dissociative amnesia, and it doesn't require a dramatic single event to trigger it. Chronic emotional stress in childhood, the quiet kind, the kind that looked totally normal from the outside, can do it just as effectively. A household of tension, a parent who was emotionally unpredictable, years of feeling like you had to be invisible to stay safe. The brain responds to all of that the same way, by turning down the recording. Now, here's the part that most people don't see coming. People who can't remember their childhood often grow up to be extraordinarily sensitive, emotionally intelligent adults, not in spite of their foggy past, but because of it. When you spend years navigating an environment you can't fully read, you develop a sixth sense for people's moods. You become fluent in subtext. You learn to read a room before you've even sat down. Psychologists have noticed that people with gaps in early memory tend to be highly attuned to other people's emotions. They're often the friend everyone calls at 2 a.m., the colleague who notices when someone's quietly struggling. That's not a coincidence. That's a skill forged in a childhood where paying attention to feelings, not facts, was how you survived. Your brain didn't delete your past, it protected you from it. And somewhere along the way, it handed you a superpower you probably never even noticed. But let's be honest, it's not always comfortable, because forgetting your past can make you feel like a stranger to yourself. You see other people bonding over shared childhood stories, laughing about embarrassing moments from 3rd grade, calling their parents to reminisce, and you just quietly wonder, Why don't I have that? There's a kind of quiet grief in it, a gap where a story should be. And sometimes the memories don't come back as images, they come back as feelings. You walk into a certain kind of house and feel inexplicably anxious. A specific tone of voice makes your stomach clench before your brain even registers why. You avoid certain situations without being able to explain the reason. Psychologists call these somatic memories. The body keeps the score, as Dr. Bessel van der Kolk famously put it. The story is still in there. It just speaks in a different language. So what do you do with all of this? The answer isn't to frantically dig for lost memories like you're searching for a missing phone. Forcing recall can actually create false memories. The brain will helpfully invent a story to fill the void, and then you'll believe something that never happened. That's not healing. That's just a new kind of fiction. The real work is about learning to trust what you feel over what you remember. It's about understanding that your character, your kindness, your resilience, your way of seeing the world wasn't deleted along with those early years. It was built by them, invisibly, quietly, in ways you're still discovering. If you feel called to explore it, a good trauma-informed therapist can be a gentle guide through what the body has stored. Journaling, creative work, even just paying attention to patterns. Why do I always react this way in this situation? Can be a form of gentle archaeology. Here's the reframe I want to leave you with. Your childhood wasn't lost. It became you. Every unexplained preference, every irrational comfort, every person you instinctively trust or distrust, that's your early life talking to you in the only language it has left. You are not a person with a missing past. You are a person whose past lives in them so deeply it skipped the conscious mind entirely and went straight to the core. And that, honestly, is one of the most quietly profound things about being human. If this hit close to home, drop a comment below. I'd genuinely love to know what you remember or what you don't. And if someone in your life has ever said, "I just don't remember much about being a kid," share this with them. Sometimes the most healing thing is just knowing the fog has a name. I'll see you in the next one.